Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations, where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I am Uakeisha, and this is
Tikisha.
and we welcome you all to our 45th episode, I believe it is. Hey,
I think technically,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. 45th episode. We welcome you all. If this is your first time, we are just, I always say, two friends, been friends for over 30 years, that just flow freely in our conversations and be led by the Spirit.
Yep,
Listen, you look very warm.
I am. I'm cozy.
I was about to say you look very cozy. I like that.
Cozy.
Yeah.
Cozy. Wait a minute. Let me quit playing. I don't want us to have to pay for
Copyright. No.
yes.
We're going to have to put, I do not
Not
own
on the
rights
rights.
to the song. Listen, we are probably just about a week away from the election. And we kind of talked about it a little bit last week, but now there's some things that have been flowing. And I know that I feel probably a little differently from you because you just like, God got it. And I'd be like, girl, guess what? But do you still feel like that? You still comfortable?
Yeah, I'm still comfortable.
And calm?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know this morning I saw TikTok University a guy that was kind of explaining to how you said some of the signs and things that we saw, you felt like it meant hope. He was saying that he believes that what's happened is supposed to happen because spiritually God is going to bring us to a place where he want us to be, like the people who really
Well, we can rise.
where we can rise. And I was like, oh, so the calmness that you feel, I can understand that now. Because if you calm, you just know that we gonna be okay. And now once he said that, I was like, I get it. But I think the earthly part of people just be like, wow, I just wanted something different. And now that I understand, I'm like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm good. I can
Yeah,
rock
I
with it.
always struggle when people have these conversations with me because I'm just like, I really don't know what to say. Like, I voted for Harris. I don't know what else to say. Because it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm always stumped because I'm just like, I was okay either way. So I don't understand the conversations.
Really?
Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't, because how can I tell you that I believe in God and I stand 10 toes down about believing in God, but I'm thinking that the president
is going to control something
that my God can't.
I get it. So when you say did you say I don't understand the conversations? You understand it, but you think it's like just.
I mean, I understand it because the Project 2025, like, like I understand all of that because it's the word I want to use, democracy.
Yeah.
So I get it, but I guess it's like if we're just staying in a state of complaining, what's our next step?
Yeah.
When do we move to the next step? What is the next step?
Yeah.
Because it's the step just to stay in complaining. And I guess for me, I look at this just like I look at my regular everyday life. Because if I'm continuously complaining about something and I'm not doing anything to change it, what more can I expect? And I think about that differently because I understand the election and we're still, unfortunately, the minority.
Yeah.
So we come out at a disadvantage to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's like knowing that, how do we become the majority? How do we even get along to become close to being that? Because everything is stronger in numbers, but we are not getting stronger all the time.
Yeah. I had made a video actually this morning about that. And I said, because I had a talk with God about how I was feeling about it, how I was getting mad and kind of angry, and how I'm still going to be in my Black woman resting era of what we're doing now, but I understand what God wants us to do, like why it's happening. Because when I had my conversation with him about my anger and me being pissed off, he was like, y'all already had the blueprint on this. This is not anything new. And I was like, what's the blueprint though? Because it feel like people having doomsday thoughts about it. And it was like, do what your ancestors did. And I was like, who? Harriet and them?
I got a question for you. When you think about happy moments in your life, do you think about who the president was at that time?
No, no. And that's why I was like, I've never missed a meal. I've never lost my home. I've never, money probably have gotten tight at times, like I do think they have with anybody. And I don't remember what president was the president when it happened.
Exactly, because I can say I was facing foreclosure. I filed bankruptcy twice. I don't remember who the president was. I remember what I was going through.
Yeah.
And if I did know who the president was, could I call him and say, hey, can you do this for me?
Yeah.
So I think about all of that. And I want to be clear. I know it's very important and it's impactful.
Yeah.
But I also know that what legally can we do to change this? Like, what's the procedure? I don't know the procedure because I ain't that deep into it, but what's the procedure in this if we wanted to change it? So if we don't even know the procedure, if we don't have all of this, what else do we have to lean on? So I'm leaning on the only thing that I've ever known to lean on my whole entire life since I've been a baby. And that's been one constant. And that was God, because that's been instilled in me since birth.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving up God because Trump is going to be the president.
Exactly. I think that the thing that I struggle with people who actually treat him like he's God, because they say they're believers, you Christian, what, evangelicals, black and white, strong Christian beliefs. And because I watch it and read a lot about it, I think
and
I
think I
with
have
that.
Not to cut you off. I think I have different views with that too, because I say it on here, like I have a lot of views that are Republican.
Yeah.
When it comes to the religious aspect of it.
Yes.
So it's some things that I identify with, but I never not want to have control of my body.
That part, yeah.
I never want that. Did you watch that Red, White, and Blue movie on YouTube? It's like 23 minutes long. So it's a short film. Like I said, it's about 20-some minutes long. I seen 2 TikToks on it, and the women were like, they were crying and boo-hooing through it. So I was just like, let me watch it. And I was trying to prepare myself because we know I cry about everything. The lady, I don't remember what state she lived in, but it was a state where you could not have an abortion. And she had to drive across country to have the abortion. She is a waitress. You can tell she's struggling with her 2 young kids. It starts out with her looking at the stick, revealing like it's pregnant.
Yeah.
But it's not her that's pregnant. It's her daughter. Really? Later, it shows a flashback of a crime scene. And I think the girl, I don't remember how old she was, but she's like young, not like high school.
Yeah. Wow.
And they had to drive across country for her to
have an abortion.
Have that. Yes. So when it comes down to it, and I think about this again, relatable to everyday life. It's always going to be good and bad from both sides of the parties.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I have good and bad in me. So it's always good and bad in both sides of the party. So that's why, everybody was just like the lesser evil. I was
the
here.
The lesser 2 evils.
So I don't know.
I think that I agree with you on that though. With it's some things on one side that I agree with, but one side I probably agree with more. But when it comes to putting like religious beliefs in my like social, like I know God gonna take care of me. When I think about like school education and things like that, what's best for my children, that'd be a concern.
Yeah, that's a
because they
problem.
make the decisions on that. But when it comes to my body, I don't think my body should be a part of it no matter what.
At all.
No matter what. I don't think that nobody should be judging what's going on between me and my body except me and God. Period. And if a woman, me, or whoever choose to do something that, is sinful in the eyes of God or people, then that's up to me or that woman to deal with that judgment. But I understand why they want to keep abortion illegal, because they want us to stay the minority and they stay the majority. And a lot of people who say they're Christians don't understand that, or believers don't understand that. So I probably dig more into it than I should. But
no, I think that that's part of the problem. If we're all coming together, we need to dig more into things.
Yeah.
We need to dig deeper. I spent my whole life digging deep and teaching people how to dig deeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you dig deeper, then you'll see like all this shit is bad. And what do we need to do to overturn it all?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. So now I am intentional about, use the word democracy. I'm like, okay, since this mostly be bad for minorities and people who are lower income, middle class, it's going to be harder for them, then we need to pour our money into each other's small businesses.
Yes.
So I am intentional now about when I purchase for Christmas, whatever I get, I'm going to try and find a Black business to purchase from. My daughter gave me a little list and I looked at it, and she had some stuff in there from companies. I was like, absolutely not. We're not doing that. We're going to find somebody who has the same thing that's Black owned, because we want to keep it in our little democracy to keep us going these next 4 years, which is how I'm using it as a solution. I don't know if everybody else is going to do that. I don't know if my few little dollars going to help, but it's going to help in my mind. And I feel like me telling other people, hey, my friend has a clothing line business, beauty, bougiest, embrace.
It's embrace bougie.
Embrace bougie. Embrace bougie. Look, if y'all looking for some gear for Christmas, then hit her website, TikishaBanks.com. We want to pour our money into our people. And not saying, like, me and you both got Caucasian friends.
Yeah.
And I've had these conversations with my Caucasian friends. Now, can they understand our full plight? Absolutely not. But I'm very raw when I talk about.
But when it comes to the women,
oh yeah,
we all of all cultures,
yes,
can relate to something.
Or yeah, well, we should.
Yeah, at a minimum.
At a minimum,
and if we don't, we should try.
Yeah, we should try, absolutely. Because I wonder about the women that I saw one last night doing a live video, and she was for the other guy, and she was a Black woman, and I could kind of feel her spirit, though it was very, well, he's this and he's that, and but when they said something about women's bodies, she used the phrase, you all can stop bringing that up to me, because you basically want me to you talk about the future of my daughter that I don't have yet, so you want me to vote on something that cuts off my daughter's blood or legacy, and that's how she put it. And I was like, I don't think she's thinking like as a woman.
Like the Red, White, and Blue movie.
Yes. I don't think she's thinking as like a woman, because she was just very blunt about, so you want me to do this? And I almost wanted to get in, and I'm not getting the comments person. I wanted to be like, so if you or your daughter or your granddaughter was raped, molested, or whatever by somebody or don't know, you automatically want them to deal with that trauma for the rest of their life. And
because that's creating the new cycle of it.
Yeah.
Because it's not only the victim But now it's the baby too that has to suffer from that.
Yeah, because the mother may hate that baby.
Yeah.
And then if she don't,
even if she don't, even if she love it, let's just say she love it and giving it all the joy in the world, it's missing out on having a 2-parent household.
Yeah. And
that love you need it. So it's that scenario can go so many ways and all being bad, especially if your choice is not to want to proceed with that. Now, if you go through it and that's what you want to do, okay, because I'm for that.
Yeah.
But I am just pro-choice.
Absolutely. Because it's not even just abortion. It's the ladies who have stillborn or, have to have DNCs or
and all of this hit close to home because I've known people who's had to experience all of that.
Yes. I know somebody very close to me who had to, went in labor and the baby passed away. And, I just know so many stories that it shouldn't be on somebody else's legislation what we do about that. And abortion, they be like it's murder, it's what I'm about to say whatever. I don't want to put it out there like it's whatever, but I think that
our girl talk.
That's
how it be when you got to get your words
out. Yeah, it's our girl talk. But when I think about that, and I think about us coming up, teenagers, we know plenty of people that that their life would be very different if they had the amount of babies that they had, But I also feel like that comes with educating our children. Like my daughter, I'm very big on. We said before, my mother didn't talk to us in detail like they should have about, when you start having sex and then you end up getting pregnant. It's just that like, now you pregnant, you should have kept your legs closed. But the education of it is not there. And this education not there for the men either. Because they think this.
I honestly think the education starts with the basic of instilling how to love yourself so you will know how to properly love someone else. Yeah. So everybody's just not working out of lust and flesh for a instant good time and gratification.
Yeah.
We in a fast society. So we always looking for something fast, the quick, and then in that moment, it's just that quick hit where I think if we started and we knew more about self-love, genuine, and then we attract more people that's in that state and it just grows and we become better humans.
Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if it was
like that? It would. So that's why I'm just like, I wish I could go back in time and value my body a lot more back then than what I do now.
Same, because I was about to say I almost feel sad that I didn't value it early on like I do now, that it took for me to hit this age for me to start valuing my body. But I'm glad that I did before I crossed over until, to be with the Lord. Because now I'm able to talk and educate and talk to people about it's just not worth it. Like the freedom that you feel when you value yourself is completely different.
Yeah, and I don't even think about it like always from a sexual thing. I just think about how I just look at myself and I'm just happy with me, like I'm at peace. And I don't have a lot of commotion in my life. And the commotion that comes is typically easy to resolve. It's not long lasting.
So because you love yourself.
Yes. So I just really feel like if we learn to love ourselves and we teach that to our children, and it's not always going to be easy. And sometimes we have to do the tough love, but we just got to figure out what works for us in those relationships. And when we understand that it is not a one size fit all.
Because everybody's love for themselves is not the same.
And your love for everyone is not the same. I remember years ago, my cousin told me, and this stuck with me, and he said, I love you and Tiffany the same. Our relationship just different.
Mm-hmm.
because it was always him and I hanging out. So I wanted to know about that, because I always had this brain where I'm asking questions to try and understand what is love.
Now that's very, very, very interesting that you said that, because a lot of times people do, like, people will ask who your favorite child or who you love. Now you have one child, but I have two, and people will always they don't ask me, but I hear the question of who you got a favorite as a joke, because people think that they love the children differently, but really it's not. They love them differently. Their relationship with them is different because each personality is different. So I get that. That makes a lot of sense that he said that.
Sometimes not only is the personality different, but the underlying issue of the personality is they have their own trauma that they're dealing with. Mm-hmm. That parent may not even know or understand or recognize yet. Mm-hmm. Because when you're not fully healed yourself, and trust me, healing is ongoing, you keep getting the lessons. Yeah. But if you're not in a place, then you don't necessarily know, because there's still things that I didn't reveal to my mother that she didn't know about me, and now she's gone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But she still was probably doing the best that she could with balancing me and my sister. Yeah. And growing up, it was always, oh, you mama's favorite. Like, I was always, and I'm just like, I wasn't. But my sister has specific situations and scenarios that point the finger where I can be like, oh, I see why you see that. I said, but I wasn't looking at it like that. I was looking at it as that was, you needed a tough love situation. Mm-hmm. So it was warranted. But from hers, where it's just like, I'm looking for the love that I think that you're giving my older sister when she was reprimanded, she's hurt. Mm-hmm. Sorry, sister, to tell you a little business. But you know what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying? So it's just like my mom probably hadn't had the tools to be able to take the time to figure out what her shit was, Tikisha shit, and Tiffany shit, to make sure we was well-rounded individuals. Yeah. We are in a world of fucked up people. That is not going to change.
No, it's not.
No matter who in office.
Yeah.
And we just need to figure out who our wise counsel is to help us get unfucked up.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I got.
That's so true, friend. Like, I literally was thinking this morning, like, I wish I had a grandma. I think we talked about this before. I've never had a grandmother. Of course, I had my mother, but now I kind of wish I had somebody in my life, because I feel like, and this is not trying to make me be anything, but I feel like I'm the wise counsel for, well, you my wise counsel, but I'm the wise counsel for other people. But I wish I had that older figure that can, reel me in a little quicker sometimes from when I'm, going off the path. And my mother was good at it in our older age, but younger, I don't think that I felt like my mother had a favorite. I never felt like my sister was the favorite. I don't know if she felt.
And see, I didn't feel like that, but because it was said so much, I adapted it. Yeah. Words are powerful. Yeah. So it had me thinking like, well, am I the favorite?
Yeah, we never.
But I never really grew up feeling like I was the favorite and superior. Yeah. It wasn't until it was instilled in my soul.
Yeah. I think that I took on more of the more friendlier one, but that was because I was the people pleaser. So people loved me because I was the people pleaser. My sister was not the people pleaser. She didn't care about pleasing nobody. Mm-hmm. So it probably appeared that I was the favorite, but really I was just trying to please people and make everybody happy.
Essentially, people, when you're making people happy, they like you.
They like you because you're the people pleaser. But when you move out of that, I don't have as many people that like me anymore. Honestly, because I'm not trying to please nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my phone don't ring. Ain't nobody calling me to go nowhere. I'm cool with that though because I love myself and I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with not being invited to every look. Before, when I was a people pleaser, I would have that thought of why I didn't get invited, why they didn't say that about me, or why they didn't, or the insecure feeling of when you're somewhere and you want to be like everybody else in the room. When you get away from that, now it's like I just celebrate other people's accomplishment and keep on moving. But you notice the shift when you stop being that people pleaser. So I don't think that I was the favorite. I just think that people like me because I was the people pleaser. I always wanted to make them happy. I wanted to be liked.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't care about being liked, obviously, because I just be on here saying whatever.
And I think with me being an empath my whole life, I was never a people pleaser. I think I probably had the balance in it, like how you said your sister was, like, I ain't trying to do all that.
Yeah.
Like, I had I ain't trying to do all that. And, I'm going to do all that because I can feel it that they need it. So I'm giving it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I never had that much of the people pleasing from the aspect of wanting them to like me. I think I did people pleasing because I wanted them to love themselves. Because I see what's in you. You see what I'm saying?
We said that about
so
you.
So it's just like,
yes.
So I want you to see it. So I'm doing things to make you feel good.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that is, do you think that's one of the reasons why you have chosen friends that's been in your life, because you see something different from other people? You know what I'm saying?
No.
And I'm not talking about nobody right now. I'm just saying.
No, period. Because I don't believe that I've chosen any of my friends, honest to God truth.
Go ahead, continue.
I believe that God has strategically placed every person in my life to be in my life.
Yeah.
For both of us to learn something.
And are you saying that for right now or throughout your entire life?
I believe my whole entire life.
Wow, okay.
Because if you think about it, I've never been like, hey, it's me, I'm Tikisha. I've always been just kind of laid back, seeing what's going on in the room. I may know one or two people.
Yeah.
But through the other people in my life, I know the whole damn room. Mm-hmm. But I never had to make friends. So I truly believe that God gifted me everybody in my life. Mm-hmm. They were just who I needed at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every person that I can think of in my life that I've ever met that left a lasting, impression where I can remember them, I've learned something from. And I appreciate that because it really got me to who I am today, where I know how to balance my relationships. Mm-hmm. Because it's a difference between like having empathy and you empathetic than being an actual empath. Because when you're sitting in feelings all day, you have to figure out how to manage that. And I was just thinking about things over my childhood that I was just like, that was probably happening because of that. So that really started making me assess everything that happened in my life. And I'm like, God put all these people in my life. And Ben, I want to thank you the most.
Come on, baby daddy. Yeah. Listen, when I tell you that your relationship and your example with Ben has helped me even more, even though God changed things in me, you show me the example.
You need a visual.
You have a visual.
Sometimes you have a visual.
And I literally have had a front row seat to you and Ben's relationship, not relationship,
It's
but
not being.
but the forgiveness, I'm gonna even say the word, the love that you both have for your son, um, the intentionality with each other and him. I just be like, I see people who argue all the time on social media. I see people who argue all the time in real life about their baby daddy, baby mama. I hate to even use that term because we good and grown.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't say baby daddy about my kids' father or anything. I don't even think I say anything. I just be like,
I don't mind. I just put your whole name out to the word everybody know. Nah, my bad.
But no, I have had a front row seat to you and Ben's relationship, and I just be like, I'm learning. And what's great about it though is I could take what I learned from you and Ben, and because I meet women all the time, and when I have conversations with them, I take what I've learned and pour it into them. Like, it don't have to be that way. You literally don't have to be so angry. And you can start to feel the shift. So if we continue to do that, if you continue to do that, and then I continue to take what I'm learning and pass it on and pour it into people, it's going to be a change in many
in lives. We've always talked about breaking a generational curse.
Yes.
So this is me just trying to put it to the test. Like, not even just for me and Jordan on down, but for Ben and his family too, because we're stronger together.
Yes.
I pray about that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point it's just like, we didn't heard it. Like, we breaking the curses. If we believe that our words are so powerful, it's time for that faith that we had in that to act on it.
Yeah. Because faith without works is dead.
Yeah. So even if my acts are simple like that, learning what I needed to do on the inside to bring it out.
Yeah.
In my conversations with him.
Yeah. And I learned what to do on the inside, even though it was like, I won't even say it was a struggle at first, because it seemed like once I fully surrendered to God, it was like easy, like, whatever. But to have visuals and to have real life examples helps me. And I think more people need real life examples of how to deal with these situations.
That's the thing. That's why I'm like, I think everybody learns differently.
Yeah.
And this is going to take me back. And this is a perfect example when we talked about the oracle cards, because I'm a visual and I see things and I feel when I pull the oracle cards, they help me to just really associate what's what and clarify. It brings insight.
Yes, I was going to say it brings
insight and clarity.
Yeah, it brings clarity.
So when it's doing that, that's why I'm like, I will never look at it like it's demonic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's clearing me because of the way I process things.
But again, if
everybody out here processing stuff differently, you got to figure out what worked for you. If some people, one person tell me I'm paying attention. Somebody else may need to hear from 10 different people. Somebody else needs to hear from that one person that they trust.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all different ways to receive these messages. But you got to be open to receiving them.
Because the way that you and I have been learning and going on this journey, and especially you, nobody can make me think everything that you do or I do is demonic. Ever. Like, we have experienced supernatural things that we ain't gonna say on camera, but supernatural that we have witnessed in our life recently that will never make me believe that something that we doing, saying, living is demonic. Ever. So when you say, I am never gonna give up my oracle cards, I'd be like, go ahead, girl, don't give it up.
Because I'm not.
If it's telling you to,
the day I give it up is the day that I hear it, like, oh
yeah, I don't want you to do this, because he's going to give you that
I'm going to get the instructions.
He's going to give it to you so clearly. I believe that. I believe that our clairvoyance, whatever, clairconsciousness, what is clear where that's why when you say something, I'm like, girl, you gotta tell me. I mean, you ain't gotta tell me. I'm never.
I hear, so I have clear audience.
Yeah, that's all you be like. I'm never gonna give it. I'll be like, I know, and I get it. I because we are on a journey and intentionally trying to do right. And again, your visuals for me, I'll be like, yep, I already know, but me seeing you show being love and forgiveness and grace helps me to show forgiveness and grace, even when I feel like it shouldn't be there. Even when I feel like, whew, this is a struggle for me to do this, but I'm still going to do it because I know on the other side, it's just the blessing for my children, for my family, for some other young lady that's going through what I've gone
Keisha,
through.
It started with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It started with me because I have learned if something is triggering you so much, you need to see what I use problem with you today. Ain't that the word I use, problem? You need to figure out what that problem is. Mm-hmm. So I started piecing my life together little by little. Mm-hmm. And it was like, why was I so mad at him?
Yeah.
Boom, check mark. So now I'm released and I moved on. And you know what? I'm going to tell you I'm sorry too. And I said that on the previous episode when we was on the phone. I'm just like, you know what? I'm sorry.
I remember you said that to him. Yeah. And he received it?
Yes. And him and my son. Because, you know, I tell Jordan all the time, like, I'm so sorry. But it's just like I was 19. And looking back, I know I was doing the best that I could do.
Yeah, yeah. You're not the same person.
I was teaching him from where I was at that point in my life.
Yes.
Absolutely. From even trying to buy everything and all of that, because that was what I thought love meant.
Yes. Yeah.
And now that I know, that's why I'm saying like simple questions where it was just like when my cousin said that to me, it was just like, because I'm like, what does love mean? But it was just like, no, our relationship just different. That's not a measurement of love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when they talk about love is love,
girl,
we make everything so complicated sometimes, and sometimes some stuff just ain't our business. And being was my business. Yeah. So that's what I worked on to figure out. Emphasis on was.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. I need to make sure my words are clear. Okay. Emphasis on was past tense.
He's not my business. He was my business.
He is not the future.
The fact that you're trying to make that so clear is so funny to me. Listen, that is hilarious. Because you're like, was.
Yes, was.
Let's make it clear. There's no
past, not present, future, past.
You're not trying to spin the block.
No. No. Okay, so we can move on from that. But but once I just really like learned to love myself and understand more what love means, even when it's the tough love, when it hurts to love.
Yeah. I'm learning every day.
We all be learning every day.
Listen, our book that you bored with reading that I keep telling you keep reading, I have been getting I have read ahead. I'm on probably tomorrow. Because I just been getting confirmation. And you like, I already knew this, but I'm getting confirmation on so many like different things that I'm like, oh yes, I knew this, but yes, you know.
I am up to date. I read it. I actually read today's last night because I was just like, I've been forgetting to read them, and let me get on track so I can go back to my everyday. Excuse me, because I'm like, I am so bored with them and I don't want to be, but I am. It's still good, but I just feel like I'm reading a different version of my thoughts.
Oh.
And what I learned for me is I don't want to say I no longer enjoy reading, but what I notice is like when I read something, I have to really, really, really be interested in it, or I get turned off quickly. Now, if I'm reading a book and it's on Audible and I'm listening to it as I'm reading it, I can finish it. Just like I want to watch TV and need the noise going. So
I don't
it's
know.
no noise, and it's already what's in my head.
Yeah.
Tell me something new.
You're like, I know you don't remember everything from last week. Do you remember me telling you this particular thing that you want everything to feed your spirit?
Yes, I do. And I woke up this morning. It's so funny because I was wondering why that popped in my head.
Oh, you thought about it?
I thought about it this morning. I was just like, I do want everything to feed my spirit. And then I'm like, what? Where'd that come from?
Yes.
I literally said that. Like, I do want everything to feed my spirit.
I was thinking about that when you was like, I don't even remember when we talked about that last time. And I was like, I wonder if she remembered when I said to her, you want a TV, you want the TV show, you want the books, you want the people in your life, you want everything in every situation, every minute of the day to feed your spirit. And if it does not, you are like, I can't do this. And I'm like, girl.
And then let me tell you, it's levels to feed my spirit.
Okay.
So I found the show that I really liked, but I'm like, oh, I like it too much, so I can't watch this while I'm working. So I got to put the other show on that feed my spirit that I won't necessarily want to turn and look at, but I can literally just listen to. So it's even levels with the feeding the spirit.
I said, girl, you have to have some balance.
Mm-hmm. And I decided I don't want any. I decided that balance is really hard for me. Yes. I want the spirit to be fed all the time.
Oh, Tikisha.
Balance is so hard for me.
Tikisha.
And I'm like, I don't know if it's worth the sacrifice.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious right now.
Because I was like, when you get married, your husband is probably not going to be that all day long. You know how every conversation we have, like, it's natural for us to just, everything we talk about is feeding each other.
This is why my husband's work schedule is going to allow us to have time apart. So I can be feeding my spirit. And when we get together as one, I can feed his too.
You don't want no balance.
That is balance. I'm getting my spirit fed. I'm feeding him. That's balance.
Woo, child. Okay. I guess because I deal with the public a lot more. So I guess it's easier for me to hee ha a little bit more than, but I do feel myself when I get to that place of I can't.
Yeah, and see, I'm in spirit all the time.
Yeah.
Because even in my job, I don't talk to anybody.
I know.
So our conversations are far and few. Like I have a lot more than what I was before, but it's not every day. I can go to work, do my 8 hours and not talk to a soul. But comment on the shows that I'm listening to in the background, the news that I'm watching in the morning. You see that about Spirit Airlines, but I don't want to get on that. So I'm just saying, like, so I'm in it all the time. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, and I'm not in it all the time because, well, I create the atmosphere.
And then I do it professionally.
Yeah.
So even when I don't want to be in it, which is never, I'm in it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
It's like, I don't want no balance.
It's too great.
Yeah.
It's heaven on earth.
It is.
So if I can have heaven on earth, why would I want a little bit of hell?
Wow. But the balance is not always
so
hell.
I'm balanced. You're only not balanced when you're unbalanced. So I'm not unhappy.
Yeah.
It was just your perspective that I needed to go out and do these things.
Not really go out and do these things, but understand that everybody is not.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't mean like necessarily go out of my house, but go out of my comfort zone for the who don't want to be spirit led.
Okay.
So why should I have to do that?
Okay.
And there's moments when you are where it's, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable, but it's still a spirit-led moment because it's a teaching moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if I know the distinction, why would I want a little bit of something just to do something? I am trying to be intentional about literally everything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one, you know what I'm saying? It's not one little thing. And I suffer when I'm not intentional about everything, when I make them little bitty mistakes, because sometimes you see the mistake and it be like, oh, okay, but some of them is so great that you can't get a do-over.
And I struggle with that because I deal with the public so much, and I start my day how I'm supposed to start it. And then when I end my day and I'm giving thanks to God for my day and reflection, I think about each and every conversation I had during that day or whatever I did during that day. And sometimes when I think about some of the conversations, and not that it's like something bad, but it's something to me that is out of the spirit of what I want it to be. And I find myself being like, I have to learn how to be intentional about not having, and I literally mean for somebody else, it might not be something bad. Like it might be, but for me, for where I'm trying to be, I'm like, now how do you change that when this is something or somebody you see,
you know,
all the time?
In my last session, I asked everybody, what's your growth story? So you're giving yourself a what's your growth story at the end of the day to see how you can grow and become better. It's a self-reflection.
Yeah.
And I think that when you do it, it's just based on your own internal measurements. Like it could be as simple as I ain't have to cut them off. I ain't have to blow the horn. I ain't have to speed up. Literally. It doesn't always have to be the big things.
The big thing. Yeah. And literally it's not ever really big things because of how I done changed my life. It just be something small where I'll be like, had a little road rage, like you said, or had a conversation, not gossiping, but just something that I felt like,
that you just felt convicted. Like maybe I shouldn't have had that. Maybe I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah. So I reflect on things nightly. I start my day with prayer and thanks, and me and my daughter pray every day together before we leave. And then at night, when I get ready to go to bed, I reflect and I'll be like, okay, so how do I change that next time? Right. Or how do I, and I think that's where you have to learn to be intentional. So while my friend here can stay in spirit like all day. And
I think most people, I guess, probably, so this is going to be a crazy comparison, but I feel like the cross between the church and the doctor. So, it's just like I'm being fed by spirit all day, which is I'm going to call the doctor, but yet my mental health and my physical body isn't suffering. So I feel like I have a good balance of how I'm leading my life based on where it is today. Because years ago, it's been a very long time because I worked from home before COVID, but years, even though I had that short period of going in the office. So I used that short time. That was a big adjustment for me because it was just like, I haven't worked in the office in so long. Now I got to work in the office. But like I said, I have filed bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I didn't have no job. You're going to take this job. You're going to drive to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, that's when I was doing the fake job, working at Old Navy. And then I was working both jobs. But I was still in the world, but I still in my core, and I was feeling tired and everything because I wasn't understanding the transitions that my body was going through.
Yeah.
But when you start to understand and notice if your body changes, just like if I was super skinny and all of a sudden I'm gaining weight, what's causing me to gain weight?
Yeah.
Like it's time to step back and just really analyze your life. And then I just noticed how things transformed around me. I didn't have to do nothing. It just was happening for me. So I want to be in the spirit all the time because I have no reason not to, based on where alignment is right now.
That's great. That's amazing. that's where a lot of people probably want to be, but don't even know it. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like they want to be set free from the shackles of that extra stuff.
Yes. And like I said, I still go to a job that I like my job. I ain't going to say I don't like it. I like my job. What I struggle with is because I'm tired. So I struggle with having to work 8 hours straight. Like I wish I could go to work, do 4 hours, take a break, come back and do 4 more at whatever time I want in a 24-hour time frame. So I get it. We live in America. We gonna do American things like work for the man.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm doing right now. But again, based on where I'm at, which I believe is my dedication to my spiritual life. God has aligned it for it to be like this. So when I go to work, I'll be like, Lord, like, don't let me mess this up. Don't let me mess this up, because I know I don't necessarily need this job, but I need this job because I need an income. So I don't want to say it from a place like I don't trust you, but don't let me mess this up because I'm getting, I think the word is complacent, or I'm complaining because I want to work a couple hours and take a break. I don't talk to people anyway. I can't think about all of those negative things. I can't think about how to grade and scale 100 and I got a 99. I just got to focus on it. And every time I go there, be like, God, please pull me from that, because I remember not having no job. So everything is literally a change of mindset. Put you in a
position now where you don't have to deal with a lot of the stuff that you used to have to deal with.
Yes.
So that's the blessing in it.
Yes. And that is me constantly working on trying to change my mindset with all situations. Because I'm trying to live a life of ease and joy. Sis is tired. So I'm tired.
Ooh, and it's coming with ease and joy, though. Even though it
is, I can't complain about it at all. But I'm saying, like, I want to keep that going, and I know things are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it be moments like this where the haters get created, and then I want them to ask themselves, "Well, why are you mad?"
Yeah.
Because everything is inner thing.
Yeah.
Like, why I'm at what somebody else doing when I got the same 24 hours? That right there that we done heard. Nah, I get it.
Yeah.
Nah, I get it.
When that
and my 24 hours ain't gotta look like Beyonce's, but they still mine, and they gonna look how I want them to look.
Exactly. And I don't think we talk about haters, and I don't know, that's a whole nother episode, because we know we have them. But have you ever thought about if you were ever a hater to somebody else?
I mean, I have been a hater. I wrote a whole blog, my blog about Sarah. Sarah was a hater.
Yeah.
She was jealous and envious, even though she was still showing up and being there for those people. But that's because we think hater and jealousy always looks mean.
Yes.
It does not always look mean. I can be envious of somebody being married all while I'm standing there as the maid of honor. Because a part of me is stuck in, why hasn't it happened for me?
I'm intentional about that too, not being a hater.
Yes. And that is hard work to not be a hater.
That's probably harder
because it's quick.
Yeah, that's probably harder than the forgiveness or offering grace to the father of our children. Not being a hater to other people who,
because anything I feel like it's a negative or a complaint or just anything, it's being a hater.
Yeah.
We coming on the close, so
we'll have to continue that conversation another time, because that's good right there, friend. I enjoyed talking to you today. I told you, you've been my visual of me learning stuff.
Thank you. Contact me for visual learning stuff.
That was funny. Hey, I don't know if we've ever said that on here. My friend is a spiritual leader. I was going to say leader.
Okay, leader. It's
life coach. Spiritual leader. Life coach. Leader. Reader, life coach. counselor. If you haven't already been able to tell, you should be able to tell by now in these episodes that she is the one you should talk to. And a lot of people who don't believe in counsel should really, really do some soul searching. And as we prepare for a new year and these changes that we talked about coming up in the beginning of this episode, you're going to need some wise counsel in your life.
Yes, because like you said, we all don't have Big Mama.
We
I
all
want
don't
a Big
have
Mama
it. Yeah,
too.
yeah, we all don't have Big Mama, and you may not feel like you can be comfortable going to people that you consider a friend to talk about some things. Contact UakeishaBanks.com. Hey, and she have events lined up every Saturday. Spiritually seek. I'm saying everything wrong.
She is saying everything.
Spiritually speaking.
Yes.
Sacred connections. You are connecting. We're growing. And if you are interested in just, growing, glowing, taking your life to another level, stepping outside of self into what's next for you, then you should probably visit her website. Not probably, you should visit her website. Register for her events. They are free.
They are free in Royal Oak. It's so funny because I am looking forward to you coming on Saturday because this will be our first experience together in this type of setting.
I feel like we always have experiences.
Yeah, but it'll be a group. So then you'll just...
Oh, yeah. And you know what's funny? You say you looking forward to it. I can already I just see you doing what your gift is anyway, all the time. Even though I'm not like in your sessions with people, you work in the gift all the time. So I don't think I'm gonna be like shocked, like, oh my God, girl, I'm shocked at you. I don't think I'm gonna be shocked. by especially for where we are now in our spiritual life. And I just don't believe that. I'm more so glad and proud that you have stepped outside of your comfort zone.
Yes.
To do something like this. So, I mean, stepping outside your comfort zone, I know was a struggle.
Yeah, and it's not even like the event because this will be like my first one that I did it last year. So this will be the second one, which going forward, I'm going to do monthly. But it's more so stepping out of my comfort zone, admitting.
Yeah. Absolutely.
About this. So that was really a big deal. But I say I'm looking forward to you coming because it's always like when the stories are shared, it's just like the connection is what I love. Mm-hmm. I love the connection with it.
Mm-hmm. I love that too. I'm looking forward to it too.
Because I really want us all to just be better humans. But especially right now, I'm talking to our women because we really can get along. It's not necessarily going to be easy. I think about how everybody from Detroit went to support the Lions in Houston.
Baby,
let's do that.
Yeah,
with each other. Let's do that.
If we can come together for a football
Let me look at you as you Houston and I'm Detroit and I'm Houston and you Detroit. Yeah. Like let's do that.
Absolutely.
H-Town down. Ain't that what it is? Okay, so I just brought Beyonce up like 3 times today.
Have you?
Yes, I said Cozy, I said Beyonce, and now I'm talking about some H-Town down.
She about to do something.
And then, okay, we can wrap it up. I'm going to say this, though. Meg Thee Stallion has a special on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Mm-hmm. A lot of women have been talking about it.
Whew. I love her. Mm-hmm. That's my baby right there. I'm about to do a record with her and Glorilla in my head. Everybody gonna think this girl is silly. But for real, it was really good. It touched me. It really did. So okay, I'm done with my shenanigans.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I haven't watched any documentary.
Y'all watch that Red, White, and Blue.
Yeah.
Like watch that. Mm-hmm. Because it even shows how the nurse was just like so used to people coming to the clinic like we're busy. Everybody here is from another state. Yeah. But when she told her age, she said, "Let me go see the doctor."
Mm-hmm. And watch that, and then as we move into these next 4 years, let's support each other's businesses. Let's not be haters. Let's support each other's businesses. Let's get on the websites. If you need a shirt, then order a shirt from somebody that you know sells shirts. If you, whatever you need, let's support each other. This is not the time to be, not supporting. Period. This is it. And then if you have a business, be professional, be courteous, be, what you need to be to keep your clientele. Let's do it. Let's get it right. Let's get it right this time. We always started, but then we stop.
Yep.
We're the only, group of race or whatever,
our culture
that will not stick together. This ain't time for that. We need to stick together, not be scared, not acting a fool. Let's stick together and support each other. So that's all I have, friend. What about you?
I don't have nothing but black men.
We're going to try to like, listen, subscribe, share this video with somebody. We trying to reach a goal. My friend don't really care about them goals. I'm trying to reach a goal. You care, but you just ain't like.
Yeah, I care. But it's just some stuff that I just don't be excited for. That's it, because I care about it all. But I just don't be moved.
Because you care, but you know that the legacy, the meaning of it is for a different reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, not that you don't care, but hey, we want to reach a goal. We want y'all to share this video with somebody, like, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think, and we will see you all next week.